Imagine standing in the middle of chaos. Words flying like arrows, tempers clashing like swords. But while others lose control, you remain still, unshaken, untouchable. This was Miyamoto Musashi, a man who faced death countless times, yet never let emotions cloud his judgment. Today we're diving deep into Musashi's philosophy, how he mastered the art of staying calm in any argument, any confrontation, and how you can too. Miyamoto Musashi wasn't just the greatest samurai in history, he was a philosopher, a poet, an artist. He lived by principles that helped him remain unshaken in battle and in life. His approach to staying calm in arguments wasn't about winning or losing. It was about clarity, control, and seeing beyond the moment. In this video, we're going to break down Musashi's unique mindset, using real examples from his life and philosophy, and give you actionable steps to embody his teachings today. Before we begin, let me ask you this. Have you ever lost your cool in an argument and regretted it later? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you struggle with most when it comes to staying calm? Let's talk about it. The void. Seeing beyond the moment. Musashi's philosophy revolves around one powerful concept, the void. In his legendary work, The Book of Five Rings, he describes the void as a state of mind beyond thought, beyond reaction. It is the ultimate awareness, where you are not swayed by external forces, but remain centered within yourself. When tensions rise, most people get trapped in their emotions. They react instantly, fueled by ego and impulse. But Musashi teaches detachment, seeing conflict as something transient rather than personal. He called this seeing without looking, observing without attachment and letting the storm pass without being pulled in. The concept of the void is deeply rooted in Zen Buddhism and Taoist philosophy. In Zen, it aligns with the idea of emptiness, shunyata, where thoughts and emotions come and go, but do not define you. In Taoism, it mirrors the principle of Wu Wei, effortless action, where one moves through life without resistance or unnecessary struggle. Musashi embodied these ideas through rigorous training, meditation, and deep observation of human nature. People often mistake calmness for suppressing emotions, but Musashi never advocated for that. He wasn't about bottling up anger or pretending not to care. Instead, he trained himself to view conflict from a higher perspective, where emotions are just passing clouds in an endless sky. When we recognize how fleeting these moments are, it becomes easier to step back and regain control. Cultivating awareness of your own thoughts, of the other person's emotions, and of the bigger picture gives you an edge. Arguments are rarely about the surface issue. There's always something deeper driving them. By stepping outside of the immediate moment, clarity emerges. Consider Musashi's duels. He never allowed himself to be provoked by insults or psychological tactics. He saw beyond the immediate confrontation, recognizing the patterns of human behavior. He understood that emotions are tools, not masters. A samurai who fights with anger is already defeated before the sword is drawn. Likewise, when you engage in an argument, ask yourself, are you reacting from ego or responding from awareness? Embracing stillness, the power of no mind, Mushin. Musashi was undefeated in over 60 duels, yet he never let emotions dictate his actions. His secret, Mushin, or no mind, a state of being fully present and acting without hesitation. When emotions take over, thoughts spiral, and clarity is lost. Musashi mastered the ability to act without overthinking, to remain free from attachment to outcomes. Instead of trying to win every encounter, he focused on balance. This mindset made him untouchable in conflict. Mushin is a concept deeply embedded in Zen and martial arts philosophy. It refers to a mental state of total clarity, where one acts instinctively, without hesitation or fear. In the heat of battle, there is no time for doubt or second-guessing. The same applies to arguments. When you hesitate, emotions creep in, and you lose control. Mushin teaches us to trust in our inner awareness, rather than getting lost in thoughts of victory or loss. This principle is seen in many Eastern philosophies. In Buddhism, it parallels mindfulness, being aware of the present moment without judgment. In Taoism, it aligns with the concept of being like an empty vessel, ready to receive but never overflowing with unnecessary noise. Musashi practiced this every day, not just in combat, but in his art, his calligraphy, and his way of life. He understood that a restless mind leads to poor decisions, and a mind at peace sees everything clearly. Think about the last time you were in a heated discussion. Was your mind calm, or were you running through countless responses, trying to defend yourself? Most arguments escalate because we become too attached to the outcome, proving we're right, protecting our pride, or trying to win. But what if you didn't need to win? What if, instead, you simply aimed to understand? By removing attachment to the result, you free yourself from frustration and gain clarity. Musashi lived by this principle. He never engaged in pointless disputes, never let taunts affect his mindset. He focused on the essential: strategy, awareness, and control. The same applies to our daily conflicts. The more stillness you cultivate, the less reactive you become. The water strategy: adapting without resistance. One of Musashi's most profound lessons is found in his water scroll. He believed that true mastery meant being like water, flowing, adaptable, never rigid. In arguments, most people resist. They dig in, defend, attack. But Musashi's approach was different. Instead of pushing back, he adapted. He listened, absorbed, and redirected the energy. This made him a formidable force, both in battle and in conversation. Water is one of the central elements in both Eastern and Western philosophy. In Taoism, Laozi describes water as the ultimate form of strength. It is soft yet unstoppable, yielding yet powerful. Bruce Lee famously expanded on this idea, saying, "Be water, my friend." Musashi applied this not only in combat, but in all aspects of life. He understood that rigidity is weakness, and true power lies in adaptability. The principle of water can also be seen in Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, spoke about adjusting to circumstances instead of resisting them. He believed that obstacles were not barriers, but opportunities to move differently. Musashi embodied this mindset in every duel he fought. He never had a set form, never relied on a fixed style. He flowed with the situation, adjusting to his opponent's weaknesses and exploiting openings effortlessly. This is the key to mastering arguments as well. Instead of rigidly sticking to one perspective, be willing to shift. Instead of meeting aggression with aggression, absorb and redirect the energy. If someone is being defensive, lower your tone. If someone is being aggressive, stay calm. The less you resist, the more control you gain. Rather than immediately countering someone's words, shift your approach. Ask, "Why do you feel that way?" Or, "Can you explain that differently?" Conversations transform when resistance is replaced with understanding. Water does not oppose, it adapts, and in that adaptation, it finds victory. Musashi understood that victory was not about overpowering, but about understanding the flow of a situation and moving within it. This is the secret to remaining calm in any confrontation, embracing the way of water, the way of adaptability, and ultimately, the way of mastery. When tension builds, embrace mushin, and when conflict arises, flow like water. These principles are not just for battle, they are for life itself.